Hello, welcome to another edition of the SOS Show with James Lott Jr. It is Monday, October 28th, 2024. We're in our, as we say, wait, which way can I go? Which way? Oh, it doesn't show up. We're in our year 10 episodes. We're heading towards the 10th anniversary of this show. Yes, 10 years ago. I can't believe it. But we were here, and that's where my thanks and gratitude start. Just from 10 years ago, I want to give Adrenaline Radio, as always, uh, just the hits. Brian Leone, the hits, all the hits. Thank you so much for that. We're still on business. Um, this episode, again, I've been kind of talking about some serious parts of the organizing business, and these are things that come up all the time, things I've dealt with, and I will continue to that this season. I will have guests on too, of course, but I'm going to continue kind of telling you my I've been in business now almost 16 years as an organizer. So I'm going to share. I'm an old timer, so I'm going to share with stuff with you that's I think very important for especially for the newer organizer, mid-level organizer, for people who are not organizers. Also, these are great tips for you. Um, this one, somebody asked me the other day, "What do you do? How do you know when to pull it back from a client?" Okay, so I have some long-time clients. And they may not use me all the time, but they usually, what I like is that when they need me, they call me. I have a project, need you. It may be 6 months later. I got a project, need you. Well, I had a client recently, and I'm okay to tell the story. I'm not going to name names or anything. Check the innocent. Um, this client was told they have to move. And I've had that many times. I mean, in the last couple of years, especially in LA, it's happened more and more and more. So she wasn't the first client I've had this happen to. And sure, it's probably won't be the last either. But this is definitely what I'm seeing now. Um, so this client, and so I've been this before. So I go, okay, we sit down, get this formulated plan. What I usually do is we sit down, they fill me in on what the deal is, how soon they can be out, of course. We know that that's number one. What plans they're doing, because sometimes they'll tell me, a lot of times they'll tell me like right away. Like they'll find out if they have a spouse or kids, I'll tell them first, obviously, I'm the first choice. But right after that, they'll say, okay, James, here's the deal. And then sometimes they'll say, James, what should we do? Or I have an idea. So either way, it's to each time. But the point is, so we got to know when. Um, and if they're looking for a place that is contingent on like how much to take over there, where you're putting stuff in storage. But a lot of times the beginning part is kind of the purge. It's the clear out. It's like, okay, this is our chance to get rid of stuff that I never wear anymore, never need. I love that. That's the fun part. We get in there, we go in the closet, and we start clearing stuff out. Food is too old and all that stuff. So that's fine. So, but I'm like, okay, let's do this. And so for me, I'm like, I'll go out get the boxes, I'll get the bins if you want me to. We can go together. But there's times when I'll do it too for you. I'll get it for you, give you the receipt. We discuss what kind of boxes, type, blah, blah. Anyway, so we do all that first. I had a client who was like, okay, they told me I gotta leave in 3 months, 4 months. Okay. And they're looking for a place to live. But I said, in the meantime, we should start packing. My suggestion always is, of course, pack everything you're not using. And also purge at the same time. But pack everything you're not using. That you're not really gonna use, take with you. Again, it depends on where she lives, what she's gonna get. If she's looking for a place to live. In LA, it's hard to find a place to live, trust me, it is. Um, we're still gonna pack it up and have areas. I have little areas. It's like we'll just like this room, put little groups like these are all your books and media. These are all your plates and pot. Like I have a whole organized thing set up. Well, this person, because they're in charge, I work with them, but I work for them also. They decide to fight me along the way. Meaning, I'm like, okay, let's start. Where do you want to start? Well, I have to realize for this, especially for this client, the move was emotional also. And actually was reminded because the client before me, it was slightly, they were in the house for like 20, 30 years. So there was some emotion there, but she was like, okay, I gotta get this done. She was very methodical about it. But this other client, because every client's different, you can't just assume everybody's the same. She was more like she also just lost her dog, so she was dealing with that too. But she was very much like I could tell it was hurting her having to leave. She had been there for almost like over 15 years like that. This was a pain for her to do this. And of course, no one wants to leave and look for a place to live. And it's like it did seem a little overwhelming for her. So I tried to make sure I had compassion. And, okay, well, just slow down. Just try to gingerly, like say, come over and say, what do you want to do today? Like just really cool about it. I want to work on this. Okay. So I prepare for what it is we want to work on. He was like, we were going to wrap up all the pictures. So I like the idea. Get our pictures off the walls, start wrapping them up. I get the paper, I get the bubble wrap, all this stuff. This person was nitpicking how I was taping everything up. In my opinion, maybe I'm sure everybody's different, but my opinion, I was taping it up to be very sturdy and make very clear and puffy a little bit. So a little puffy, sturdy, so nothing breaks because the worst thing can have is that the frame or the glass breaks in the frame somewhere. Like so just bugs. You get it transferred all the way over there. You know movers, they are always careful. So I was like, so I was like, I'm just kind of trying to make sure it's all good. And she was criticizing how much tape I was using. I'm like, okay. As at first I said, okay, if it's a money issue, I'll bring tape and donate it to you. Like it's no big deal. I'm like, it's just I just every once in a while I'll donate it to you. It's tape. I don't care. It's like I'll take it out of my budget because you're paying me. I'll just take it out of my budget and I'll just give you tape. So but that still wasn't enough, right? It was still, I want to start with these particular glasses way in the corner. And it was like every step of the way, it was just like, it was like, you're asking too many questions. You do, I mean, I would ask, I mean, I was totally calm and collected. It's like, okay, so I don't know, James. I don't have an idea for that. I say, what do you want to do next? I don't, should we start in this room? No, I don't want to start in that room. Like, it was these weird areas she wanted to start in. I'm like, I have a suggestion. Maybe we could start in this one room and just kind of go all the way around. I don't want to do that. I'm like, girl, you gotta get out of here because time. Meanwhile, the months are going by and time is ticking. Well, I let the client know. I said, well, during the fall, I'm gone. This happened during the summertime. So during the fall, I'm gone a lot. I have other clients, other business. You're not my only client. That's the only problem. You're not my only client. And I was like, I got other clients. And you didn't hire me for like 6 months. Like, if you want to hire me for 6 months to be exclusive clients, then you got to pay and all that. And she was doing all that. I wasn't willing to do that either. So I mean, I got other clients and things, and so I'm doing that. Well, time ticking and running out, and the house sold. It was being sold, so it sold while she was there. And now I was like, you gotta get out last minute. And here's the thing, I felt bad on some level because I was like, I was trying my best to get you to not to go through this part now. Now you gotta rush everything. Find a storage unit because you don't have a place to live yet. Find a storage unit, get somebody to come in and pack. I said, now it's too late. I'm not around. So you're going to get somebody else to do it. Now you're going to get people in here who don't know you, and they're going to come in there and touch your stuff, and or maybe she'll get friends or whatever. But here's the thing: I almost as an organizer, and this is for organizers out there, I'm not going to do anything for a buck. I'm not going to sacrifice anything for a buck. Not even for longtime clients that I love and know. I have to realize these are grown people. And whatever they're going through, it's not part of me. And for me, most of the time, I'm able to extricate myself from the situation. Usually, I don't take on a situation. We can't take them on, folks. I know we're in their space. It's very tough, not to sometimes, but then it has to be nice to be a nurse. So I just why I can do this. You have to kind of separate a bit. You still be compassionate and empathetic and be there and be fully present, but you have to make sure the outcomes have nothing to do with you, James, or any of you out there. Those outcomes are their outcomes. If they are telling you you're being too much, slow down, then you slow down and you let them guide it. Now, the results don't happen the way they want them to, then you can say, well, I'm following exactly how you want things done. It's not has nothing to do with you. You're not saying I didn't tell her I told her so. I'm not talking about I told you so or I was right. It's just like you chose this path. I gave warnings. I tried my best. It didn't work. So now you have to deal with it. So, and that can be hard. One of the things that I had to do to pull out was not cancel my current clients and go, okay, I'm here, I'm coming to help you. I said, no, my current clients are just as important as she is. They've done nothing wrong, and they are, and their time is valuable, and their money is valuable, and them needing me is valuable. Don't do that. And I didn't. That was me pulling back because I could have been just like, I'm canceling everybody. Okay, I'm all yours this whole weekend and rush around it. No, and and what's really, and here's the kicker, folks. I didn't want to do it. I was like, you know what? I don't want to help actually. And see, this is the real truth, people. This may sound petty or sad or whatever. I'm not trying to be any of that stuff. I'm not trying to punish the client or anything. It's just like, no, I ran around. I did all my obligations I was supposed to do. And I did everything, but the limitations you put on me, these are limitations you put on me. I have all the examples. That's on you. And my time is just as valuable also. And I have no obligation because we are client and I have some obligation. Now somebody disagree with me, and that's fine, but I have no obligation to have to help you. All of our agreements are at will agreements. We could either she could just like when clients go, I don't need you this week, that's fine, or hire somebody else behind my back or whatever. I can say, you know what? Now you're on your own. Good. I wish you the best of luck on this move. I'm available, late December if you need anything once you move in. That's basically what I told her. I was like, I'm sorry I can't be there for you. I try my best, but I can't be there for you. But I did. I said basically in late December, I'm around, or whenever you find a place to live, I might personally be around to help you move into your place. Which on some level, that's just as important, right? It's like moving out is one thing and moving in is one thing, putting everything in this place. Um, Either way, you could need somebody. And it's like, yes, I had another client who was like, this is a separate client now, who I told them, well, okay, this is kind of, they're getting a new job, which is an exciting thing. And it's kind of last minute for me because we just started we hadn't worked together in a year. And so they called me back up, which I always love. And they started to have a timetable. Well, unfortunately, I already have stuff in place. I'm a popular. I have a job. I'm a popular person. Thank God, right? I praise everything that I mean. I got clients who want me. I'm literally out of town for most of like November and part of December. Um, and they're paying me too. I mean, it's not just me doing volunteer work. Um, I'm like, well, my only this is this last minute, and it's not my client's fault. In this case, it's not my client's fault. This is just happening now. They thought of me, and I would love to trust me. I'd love to have the business. I wish I could clone myself. I was like, okay, I have this 5 day period that's open, but I can't give you the full 5 days. You got to pick 3 of those days of the five. But I said those dates because I can work around the dates of the 2 dates that they don't choose. They wanted 3 consecutive. That's fine. I can work around the dates so you can choose. So I'm giving you first rights, everything. They were very happy to pick 3 days. They won a fourth. I would love to give them a fourth. And so what I told them, you get 3 days for sure. We'll do what we can with that. Um, if I get the other stuff done on that first day of the five, you might be able to get the fifth, but or fourth day, which is the fifth day for me. But it may not happen. I said I can't promise you that. And again, I have my own life organized. We have our own lives too, and I have other clients, and I also take care of my mother. I have a lot going on also, and that's one of those things. It's like it's tough because again, these are clients I love to work with. These aren't problematic. I love working with these clients, both of them, for years. I love working with them, and it's one of those things where you're like, if I could clone myself or add days in the week and days in the month, I give you the full 4 days. You can have them all. They're all yours. And with you, I'd be able to be there for you to unload your stuff. But these are also good lessons. And in ways, these are good lessons for me as a business owner. This looks good in the eyes, and believe it or not, looks good in the eyes of both my clients that James is a wanted person. James is in demand. Um, if I was too easily accessible, that doesn't look good in the long run for my business. When you think about it, when you're marketing yourself, I'm always free. Well, then why aren't you working? But I'm actually working. So for you out there, if you're booked and busy, praise God, you're moving. You're doing great. Don't bend over backwards to the point where you're in a pretzel and put yourself in a pickle and damage yourself to help a client. You have to find a way. Sometimes you have to say no, you can't. Sometimes you just I've had clients, and here's what's so funny. Here's a little something I've learned in 16 years. I've had clients who waited for me. If their thing was not time sensitive, like it wasn't time, like they needed it done by Monday or December 1st, they waited for me. You're like, well, James, when is your first available? When you be back? And sometimes they'll ask me now, or call me back in 2 months. I'm like, and that's worked out. I'm available. So sometimes it also it pays to do that because they go, wow, this guy is really busy, or this gal's really busy. They must be good, or it must be just it trust me, it looks good. It's hard money wise. You don't want to give it up, but you can't do everything. You can't work for everybody. Not all schedules work together. Um, and I don't mind saying I have another organizer who can do this, and um, and I'll pass them on. I can't do it. There's been several jobs that I can't do or couldn't do. I passed on. And same with me. Like, so I'm so sorry. I can't do it. I wish I could, but I just have no time. But I have a great person who can do it. And I don't like again, it's I have no we have some colleagues in your circle that you can trust because it is your person, it is your reputation on the line. You send somebody and they're horrible, then they'll never forgive you. Make sure these are people that you vetted yourself, that you know are good, you know, do your stuff. Just literally just look out so you look out for yourself and you can do it. And it is crazy. No, it's wonderful. And you know, and to me, there's no competition. And to me, when you do that, when you pass it on to someone who's wonderful and they do a great job, it still looks good on you. And and for me, even if they hire them and if they go between both of us, hire them for some stuff, that's fine. Trust me, in America, there's so much work to go around that you don't have to hoard your clients. You cultivate them, whatever, but there's so much to go around. Oh my God. There's so much to go around. So much to go around. There is. So those are my little tips for this today. And it's never easy. And I'm actually writing, and this is for extremes. I have these books I have out. I thought I have them sitting right next to me on different organizing. I'm doing these little mini booklets on different things with organization, productivity, and advice. And I have one about small steps lead large rewards, some little tips for organizing, and I have one out called how to power consistency. But I'm working on one about how to break up with the client and how to effectively do that and safely do that. And there's all kind of stuff. I mean, I'm not saying we go to that extreme. I'm not bringing up my clients extreme, but I'm also going to give tips on how to kind of sometimes you have to pull back from clients sometimes because you just time restraints or life or you hurt your arm and you just can't do it. So we're going. This day's working out. I'm James Lott Jr. I really am. Super organizer. A lot of help.com is the website. You can hire. I'm here for hire anywhere in the country. I mean, totally anywhere in the country. And Super Organizer Show is on all the social media platforms. We'll see you next time. Bye.